Moses' writings will be about Jesus and about the things that are not of God. For example, Moses' writings will have full legal requirements. Full legal requirements. The law. That's the first thing you will see in the writings of Moses. Full legal requirements. Number one. Number two, in the writings of Moses, you will see the promises. The promises is Christ. The legal requirements is not about Christ. It's not about God. It's about them. Then when he finished writing the law, he now in that same instance wrote about Christ. For example, look at Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 11 to 14. For this commandment which I commanded this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. 13. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou wouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. 14. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. So after giving them 612 commandments, 612 commandments, he now says in Deuteronomy 30:11, it's not hidden from. It's the same thing Brother Paul quoted in Romans chapter 10. What saith it? The word is nigh thee in your heart and in your mouth. That is the word of faith which we preach. Say not in your heart, who shall go to heaven to bring Christ down, or who shall go to the grave to raise Christ from the dead. But what saith it? The word is nigh thee. It's the same thing that Paul preached, that Moses preached to them in Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 11. And in the same thing, Moses also wrote to them in Deuteronomy chapter 28 from verse 1 to the end. Now look at what Moses says to them in Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. Please pay attention. Moses said to them, see, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. All right, please pay attention. So Moses says, I have set before you life, good, death, evil. All right. So what Moses did was he said two things before them, as just like he did. He gave them accusation, he gave them the law, then he gave them Christ, he gave them the promises. Two things. He gave them the gospel of Christ, then he gave them condemnation. The gospel of Christ, condemnation. The choice is yours. See the gospel, see condemnation and the law. Choose. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life. See, Moses preached the gospel to them. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Choose life. Choose life. He didn't hide it from them. And the same thing Paul said. The word is nigh thee in your heart and in your mouth. That is the word of faith which we preach. So let me ask you a simple question. Did Moses preach the gospel to them? Yes. Did he preach condemnation to them? Yes. So he preached the two to them. Now look at Deuteronomy 18 verse 15. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren like unto me. Unto him you shall hearken. So now Moses put a disclaimer on himself. He said, another prophet is coming like me. Hear him. Don't hear me. Another prophet like me is coming. Whatever he says supersedes what I said. He told them right there in Deuteronomy. Hear him. Look at Deuteronomy 18:18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. The same thing. He's preparing them that Christ will come and he will say things, hear him. So whatever Peter, James, and John heard on the Mount of Transfiguration hath been said before. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear him. Moses already preached it to them. I will raise a prophet like unto you among the brethren. Him shall you hear. Him shall you hear. So another question. Did Moses preach Jesus? Yes. Because you won't come to me, Moses said. You won't come to me. Hear him. Look at Acts 3:22. For Moses truly said unto the fathers, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren like unto me. Him shall you hear in all things, whatsoever he shall say unto you. Look at the next verse. And it shall come to pass that every soul which will not hear that prophet shall be destroyed from among the people. Anyone that will not hear that prophet, that's what Moses told them. So he combines two verses in Deuteronomy. He combines Deuteronomy 18:15 and Deuteronomy 18:18 in the summary in the book of Acts. So when he said that they should hear him, the word here is the word shema. It means to obey and believe. Obey and believe him. Obey and believe him. Obey and believe him. So Moses put a disclaimer on the 612 laws that he gave to the children of Israel. Moses put a disclaimer. Observe John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. 17. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world. Underline that. To condemn the world. God did not send his Son to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. 18. He that believeth on him is not condemned. He that believeth on him is not condemned. But he that believeth not is condemned already. Why is he condemned? Because he had not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation. This is the condemnation, that the light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. This is the condemnation. Please stay with me. This is the condemnation, that the light is come, but men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. So the condemnation is that they love darkness better than light. Stephen also preached this same message. Acts 7:37. This is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall you hear. Him shall you hear. Stephen preached it. So why then did Moses give the law? Because God didn't give a law. He didn't give law to the children of Israel. Why did Moses give them the law? Look at the reason. Please pay attention. Deuteronomy 32:20. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very froward generation. Children in whom is no faith. Children in whom is no faith. Children, you see, God didn't give a law because it's not biopla. He cannot give Jesus and give laws. So why did Moses give them the law? Look at Hebrews chapter 4 verse 2. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. So the gospel was preached to these people that Moses called children in whom is no faith, as well as unto them. The gospel was preached to us. The same gospel preached to us was preached to them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that had it. So Moses said they are a children in whom there is no faith. Remember, Paul said, the law is not for the righteous man. So God couldn't have given the law. The law is not for the righteous man. 1 Timothy 1:9. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man. That the law, so if the law is not for the righteous man, then God didn't give the laws. That's why they are called the laws of Moses. That's why they are called the laws of Moses. Why did Moses give them the law? When he gave them Christ, they rejected Christ. The gospel was preached unto them as well as unto us. But the one preached to them did not profit them because they didn't believe it. So since they rejected the gospel, they are children in whom there is no faith. So since they are faithless, they are in unbelief, Moses gave them the law. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers. The law is not for the righteous,